There is nothing like story time with Grandma, but what if Grandma was also the author of the book? Our next guests have a new children's book out, and it was illustrated by one of the author's granddaughters. Linda Francis and Judy Cavall join us today, as well as Linda's granddaughters, Emily and Mercy, to talk about Poppy, the Precious Princess. Welcome, everybody.
Hi. Thank you for having us.
Oh, absolutely. This is delightful. So tell us a little bit about the book.
This book takes place in South Dakota, and it's a story about Poppy.
You're right a little bit.
Right? About Poppy and her travels through the state and the certain animals and people that she meets. And the animals are South Dakota animals, or animals you would find in South Dakota.
Okay.
It starts off Storybook Land.
Oh, from Storybook Land. That's awesome. So tell us, we're going to have you read a little bit of the excerpt or a little bit of this book later, but can you go into a little bit more detail, just what maybe those animals, what they're doing and so forth?
Well, the gingerbread princess is, she leaves Storybook Land because she came alive after being a cookie. So then she happens to find a carriage at Storybook Land that's Pumpkin from one of the favorite fairy tales. So then she starts running away, of course, just like the original gingerbread man. And so then she comes in contact with some of the animals from South Dakota. They're native to South Dakota, like a jackrabbit. We have a pheasant. We have an eagle. And Mercy did, my granddaughter here, she did a lot of the illustration. And then Emily did a lot of the characters. So that's how it all came to be. And each one of the 9 books that we've written is a cousin of the original gingerbread man. And so from each state that we've written about, that correlates with the different animals that you would find in that state. Since we were both former teachers, put some teaching into it too, and vocabulary words, and so it's been a fun adventure.
Oh, that is fantastic. And ladies, great job illustrating. I'm very impressed by that. I have to ask you how old you are.
I'm 16. I'm 13.
Okay. And you drew these illustrations like how long ago?
I think it was like last summer. Yeah, this last summer.
Okay.
Last summer. Kind of our COVID book, and we're all...
Yeah. Well, that's nice. That gives you something to do and something very productive yet meaningful. So I love that, and I love that you're working together, grandmas and granddaughters. It's wonderful. So I have to ask, of course, though, what gave you ladies the idea to write this book?
Well, I have to say that this is Poppy.
Oh, adorable. Poppy, you are so cute.
Poppy. And we had several people ask us if we wanted, or if we would write a book about South Dakota, because we have other gingerbread cousins books from like Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana, Alaska. And so this was kind of upon request.
Right. Okay. So could we get a little reading about this story?
Sure.
Somebody read a little bit from it? A page or two?
Poppy, the Precious Princess is the name of the book. And let's see, how about if I'll start right here, where she says, I startled Miss Molly by suddenly jumping out of her hand. Please come back, come back. You're my special princess and cookie. I quickly ran by some storybook characters, and these are some characters that are at Storybook Land. Storybook Land's in Aberdeen, and there's a lot of fairy tales and favorite nursery rhymes. But there was a gigantic pumpkin carriage waiting for me. I couldn't believe my eyes. So then she quickly hopped on the carriage, put on the crown, and chanted, trot, trot, and give it a twirl. You can't catch me, I'm a gingerbread girl. So then she continues on down that path, and we'll go to just the first animal. I traveled through the vast grassland and suddenly heard a rustling sound. And what should I see? And so each page then that we asked the kids, well, what do you think they saw? And so it was a fancy pheasant, and there's a sample of that.
Awesome. Great
So
illustrations.
A little sampling of what the book's about.
And that is wonderful. And I know that you stated that you're both teachers, and so
Correct.
this is geared primarily towards student or children.
Yes, I'd say from anywhere from 2-3 years old. Poppy is 2 or 3, so yeah, from 3 to probably, I'd say up to even 3rd grade. We went into a 3rd grade classroom, Judy's daughter, and read to them, and then that was kind of a stepping stone for them writing their own little books.
Yeah. And now, where can we find this? Where can we find the book, ladies?
You can find it. You can get them through Amazon at Mindak Market at West Acres.
Mm-hmm.
You can get it. You can email us at gcbooks1@yahoo.com, or you can go on our Facebook page and message us.
Awesome. We will put it up on our Facebook page as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for being on with us. Have a very happy Easter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Say
you.
thank you.
Coming up on today's show, we have our daily dose of motivation.